Hey everyone, this is Ross. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about sugar snap peas. This is my favorite garden vegetable during this time of the year. It's actually my favorite vegetable, period. And I grow these guys in huge quantities. I go to crazy lengths. I give up a lot of space for these peas because of how good they are. They're undeniably very, very sweet. They're almost like eating green candy, and you can see the pods here on these plants. These are plants here, by the way, that we had transplanted out. We started these indoors sometime around March 1st and got these out here in the garden, I think March 15th, April 1st, somewhere around there. And then on the same day, we came in and actually direct seeded a whole lot of different snap peas in this bed here. So you can see the difference between direct seeded versus transplanted. And then we also direct seeded them over here. Now what's the deal about that? Because these look a lot healthier. We did these on the same day. They're basically in the same microclimate. They're 3 feet away from each other. Why are these so incredibly healthy looking? And these look a bit stressed and are about a quarter of the size. Well, it's because of the mulch. And in this bed was all kinds of rice hulls. We actually have mixed this up a bit since, but there's been a lot of straw rice hulls on this bed that has really cooled the soil down. And at that critical moment, that critical point of the season when these guys are putting on lots of growth, it really just didn't help out these plants. And you can see the difference between these plants here and then look at the soil. Completely bare. Nothing on there cooling it down. It's getting all the heat of the season that was all throughout April, all throughout maybe even parts of March, depending on when we started these guys. But what a huge difference. And you can see they're gonna flower pretty soon. This is the Sugar Ann variety, which is very, very early as far as peas go. And there's also different types of peas out there. So let's educate you guys on that real quick if you're not familiar. There's the sugar snap pea, which you eat the entire pod. You eat the pod, and you also eat the pea that's inside the pod. There's other peas out there which I absolutely hate, and you may be thinking, I hate peas. Well, that's because they are just the pea itself. You don't have the pod, you get them frozen at the grocery store, you heat them up, they're horrible. And I would agree, and I've been kind of away from peas and discouraged from eating peas for a long time in my life, and now they're my favorite. But that's the kind of pea where you kind of let this dry, and then you peel off the pod here, and then you save the pea on the inside, and you can cook those up. And I bet they're pretty good. But for the most part, this is really the best form. And there's also snow peas out there where you would take just the pod, very small peas on the inside, if you guys can even make that out. You can kind of see the pods up here above my thumb, or the peas above my thumb. This is what you would eat as a snow pea. So for me, it's really all about getting them to a maximum size, a maximum pea that fills up this pod perfectly, really bulges it out. And you can then also feel this with your thumb and be able to say, oh wow, that's a really thick pea in there that has gotten some size on it. And that's when the sweetness really goes crazy. And that's what you're kind of looking for on these things. Is you want that pod to really bulge and really get filled with these peas, because then they're gonna have that sweetness and it's gonna blow you away. Now, here's some other sugar snap peas over here that, these are the best looking ones right now. These are the best producing ones right now. Why are these so far ahead of the others? Well, we had also started these indoors and transplanted them outside. But we have them in a different location, a location without no mulch, with bare soil, as you can see here. And it also is in a better spot, I think, to get kind of warmed up sometime in April, because this bed gets a lot of sun without these leaves on these trees. So this bed's really benefited from it, and so have these plants, and they're really starting to take off, and they're filled with pods all over these plants. And you can see there's all these new flowers forming up in here. Here's some more pods back over here for you guys to see. They're just incredibly sweet, guys. They're unbelievably sweet that any kid would love these things, and they're green. So for me, they're my absolute favorite. And I guess a few words on how to grow them. It's very simple. They germinate very easily. You could soak the seeds if you want prior to germinating them. I like to put actually 2 plants every 4 inches. And that kind of helps them support each other because they have these little tendrils. And these little tendrils help them grow together and they latch onto each other. You can kind of see that. See that, guys? That's 2 different peas supporting each other. And that way you don't need a trellis. And especially with the sugar snap pea, they're just shorter plants in general, that these grow really well very closely. So I space them only 4 inches, 2 peas per hole, and it works out real nice. They also are nitrogen fixers, and they don't really need the best soil. Although I do think they need a lot of heat earlier in the season, right? They need the right temperature, but because they fix nitrogen from the atmosphere and put that in their roots, they really can do their own thing. So for the most part, extremely problem-free. Nothing really bothers them, there's no pest. The only issue is that these guys will finish out their crop, and actually the vine, these pea plants will start to die sometime around mid-June here in my area, maybe even late June, because that's when things get really warm. So if you want to grow them, you got to do it early in the season when things are a bit cooler, because that's the temperatures and the conditions that they like. And yeah, definitely grow some peas, guys. I hope to see you all soon for tomorrow's video. We're going to come at you guys with more of these little things every 15 days from, you know, today is May 8th, so from May 1st to May 15th, this is my favorite thing in the garden and in the orchard. And then the next 15 days, we're going to do the same thing. The next 15 days is going to be strawberry. So we'll come at you guys, I think, all throughout this year and talk about what at every stage of my year, my growing season, is indeed the best thing and the best thing that I'm looking forward to. So, all right, guys, take care. We'll catch you all for tomorrow's video. Peace out.